Across America, something unsettling is unfolding. Entire towns are watching their biggest employer, their main shopping hub, and in some cases their only grocery source, vanish almost overnight. Walmart, once the unstoppable retail giant, is cutting back fast in 2025, and it's hitting certain states harder than others. From small farming towns in the Midwest to sprawling suburbs in the South, the closures and downsizing are exposing cracks in the U.S. economy. And behind this crisis lies a combination of Donald Trump's tariff policies, shifting supply chains, and changing consumer habits. The question is, are these communities prepared for what's coming next? Before we unpack the top 10 states in crisis, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss the latest deep dives into America's changing economy. Your support helps us bring you more stories that matter. The changing face of American retail. Walmart's pullback in 2025 isn't just about corporate profits. It's about a deep shift in the retail economy. For decades, Walmart dominated because it could offer the lowest prices, backed by massive global supply chains. But Trump's tariffs have driven up the cost of imported goods, especially electronics, clothing, and household items. Add in higher transportation costs, supply chain delays, and changing consumer preferences for online shopping, and Walmart's business model is under real strain. In some states, the result has been brutal, leading to more store closures in vulnerable regions and forcing shoppers to rethink where and how they buy their everyday necessities. State number 10, Kansas, farm country feels the squeeze. Kansas, with its rural communities and reliance on agricultural trade, is seeing a dangerous double hit. Farmers here are already struggling under tariffs on farm equipment and the loss of key export markets. Now, with Walmart scaling back stores in smaller towns, residents have to travel longer distances for essentials. Local mom-and-pop shops, which once relied on Walmart traffic spillover, are losing customers too. The ripple effect means fewer jobs, weaker local tax bases, and an even more fragile rural economy. For many towns, this combination is accelerating population decline, as younger residents move away in search of better opportunities and more stable retail access. State number 9, West Virginia, the coal belt's retail collapse. West Virginia has been fighting economic decline for years as coal jobs disappear. Walmart's presence kept many small towns alive, not just as a store but as a source of steady employment. In 2025, as Walmart trims locations, job losses are piling on top of an already shrinking labor market. Tariffs on imported goods are raising prices here too, making life harder for residents on fixed incomes. The loss of a Walmart often means losing the only pharmacy, clothing store, and affordable grocery in the area. Without it, residents face higher costs, limited healthcare access, and fewer choices for the products they once bought locally with ease. State number 8, Mississippi, a hit to low-income communities. Mississippi is one of the poorest states in America, and Walmart's pullback is especially devastating here. Many towns relied on the store not only for shopping but for affordable pricing. With tariffs increasing the price of goods, even Walmart's bargains aren't what they used to be. When a store closes, the local economy takes a direct hit, and residents are often forced to drive 30 or 40 miles to the next nearest option, increasing fuel costs and further straining budgets. This added burden is pushing more families into financial hardship, leaving food banks, charities, and community aid programs under intense pressure to fill the growing gap. State number 7, Alaska, distance and dependence. Alaska's unique geography makes retail logistics expensive. Walmart helped keep costs manageable for many Alaskan communities by leveraging its shipping network. But with tariffs raising import costs and Walmart downsizing less profitable locations, Alaskans are facing higher prices and fewer choices. Rural towns that depended on Walmart for bulk orders now have to rely on smaller, more expensive stores, pushing up the cost of living even further. In winter months, when supply chains are already fragile, these closures can mean delayed deliveries, empty shelves, and shortages of basic goods that residents once took for granted year-round. State number 6, Louisiana, storms and store closures. Louisiana's economy is already challenged by frequent hurricanes and flooding. Walmart played a vital role in disaster recovery, often being the first store to reopen after storms. But in 2025, several locations in vulnerable areas have been closed permanently. Tariff-driven price hikes are also hitting local fishing and seafood industries hard, reducing income for many families. Without Walmart, recovering from storms becomes even tougher, as supplies are harder to access quickly and affordably. For communities in the bayou, this loss is more than economic, it's about resilience. Fewer resources mean slower recovery times, forcing residents to rely on costly, distant suppliers during emergencies. State number 5, Arkansas, Walmart's backyard cuts. Ironically, even Walmart's home state isn't safe. Arkansas towns that once thrived around Walmart locations are feeling the sting as the company shifts resources toward more profitable regions. Tariffs are squeezing profit margins, and automation is replacing workers in surviving stores. Local suppliers who once counted on Walmart contracts are losing business, cutting deep into small-town economies. For many residents, this feels like a betrayal, as the state that gave birth to Walmart now sees job losses, shuttered storefronts, and declining local tax revenues. The long-term impact could weaken community services and push more young people to leave for better prospects. State number 4, New Mexico, rural retail deserts. New Mexico's sprawling rural areas make it hard for residents to access basic goods without Walmart. Store closures here are creating retail deserts, where the only options left are overpriced convenience stores. Tariffs on imported goods like produce and electronics are hitting hard, especially in border towns that used to rely on Mexican imports. With Walmart gone, prices rise, and low-income families are forced to make do with less. Many households are now cutting back on fresh produce and necessary household items, leading to nutritional gaps and lower quality of life, while local charities struggle to keep up with growing demand. State number 3, Alabama, manufacturing meets retail decline. Alabama's manufacturing sector has been battered by tariffs on imported steel, aluminum, and parts. As factories slow production or shut down, unemployment rises, and that's bad news for Walmart stores that depend on steady local incomes. Store closures in industrial towns are deepening the economic downturn, leaving fewer jobs and less access to affordable goods. Without Walmart's draw, surrounding small businesses see fewer customers, accelerating economic decline. In many areas, the closures also mean losing a central hub for affordable prescriptions, clothing, and school supplies, creating more strain for families already grappling with reduced wages and limited job opportunities. State number 2, Oklahoma, the oil patch retail slump. Oklahoma's oil-dependent economy is facing volatility from global energy markets, and tariffs are adding extra strain to industries that rely on imported machinery. Walmart store closures here are removing an important stabilizer for struggling communities. Small towns are especially vulnerable. When the Walmart leaves, it often signals the start of a broader economic exodus. Residents must travel farther for essentials, increasing expenses at a time when energy sector layoffs are already hurting household incomes. As fewer businesses remain, property values fall, schools lose funding, and towns face an uphill battle to keep their populations from shrinking even faster. State number 1, Texas, the big hit in a big state. Texas might be booming in some metro areas, but rural and small-town Texas is another story. Walmart closures are spreading, particularly in regions already hit by tariffs on agricultural goods, electronics, and consumer imports from Mexico and China. The sheer size of the state means that when a store shuts down, the next nearest option can be hours away. That's bad news for seniors, low-income families, and anyone who depends on affordable, local shopping. In these areas, Walmart's exit often marks the loss of the primary employer, affordable pharmacy, and grocery store all at once, deepening rural economic hardship and isolation. Why this matters beyond the states. What's happening in these 10 states is more than a retail story, it's a warning about the fragility of local economies in the face of global trade shifts. Trump's tariffs have reshaped how goods move, how much they cost, and where retailers choose to operate. Walmart's retreat in 2025 shows how quickly a corporate decision can ripple through communities, leaving lasting scars. As the U.S. moves deeper into 2025, the connection between trade policy and everyday life will only grow clearer. Walmart's cutbacks are just one piece of a much larger puzzle, where tariffs, consumer habits, and corporate strategy collide. The question isn't just whether Walmart will return to these towns, it's whether these communities can survive without it.